marketing efforts is why put your yard signs out there if they're just going to get cut up or if they're going to get taken down by the city because the city doesn't allow them or things like that? I mean, it's a good question. Hey friends, welcome to another vlog. Super excited to have you back on the channel. Today I'm heading out to a good friend's to clean some gutters. So we're gonna have some fun doing that. And we're also gonna talk a little bit of business while we're doing it. So it should be a really, really cool video. So if you haven't yet, like and subscribe to this channel and like this video and leave me a comment down in the comment section below. But let's get to it. Let's have some fun. Alrighty, here we are. Let's go ahead and go up here and see what we were looking at here. This gutter here looks pretty clean. Except for down there, it looks like there's quite a bit of stuff. But I asked the client, rule number one for gutter cleaning, or anything for that matter, is when you get to the client's house, ask the client if they've had any recent issues. And so asking this guy if he's had any recent issues with the gutter. We just had a pretty big rain here in Sacramento, and I guess the whole front gutter was overflowing, so that gives me an idea to focus some time and energy on that. And then obviously I'm gonna run some water down these downspouts to make sure they're fully clean. But I'm gonna get up on this roof, take a look at what else we got going on here. All right, so according to the homeowner, right over here in the front of the house is where it was overflowing real bad. He said there's a bend right there in the gutter, and that's right where it was overflowing. So let's take a look at that and see. It was apparently coming from right here. There's some gunk in there, but there's one downspout over there, and there's one downspout at that side of the house, and all these front gutters are connected, so it's quite a maze. There's a really long gutter and only one downspout over there and one downspout over here. So I'm curious. Let's take a look at this downspout over here and see how that's looking. Yeah, there's still standing water in there, and nothing's flowing down that downspout. So let's take a look at this other downspout here. Oh yeah, this downspout is completely clogged. You gotta love it. Gotta love it. Also, another good thing to do when you're up here on these roofs is to do kind of a roof inspection. You know, you let the client know how old the roof is. You know, it's looking, like it's fiberglass starting to show through and whatnot. You could also look at how much moss is up, in the valleys, how much leaves and pine needles are stuck in the valleys. Kind of good stuff to upsell. And then another good thing is if you could locate where the dryer vent is, you can let the client know how much lint is seeable on the roof. So always kind of helpful to kind of get a good idea. You could also check out the plumbing boots and things like that. Let the client know what kind of shape their roof is in. Look at that, that's yummy. Yummy, yummy. Oh yeah, this downspout has been clogged for years. Okay, so while I'm doing this, I thought it'd be fun to talk about marketing. There's a lot of signs I've been seeing lately for holiday light installation. There's businesses out there that just do holiday light installations, right? And they pop up, right around, October, November, December. obviously to install some Christmas lights and whatnot. But the thing that I've been thinking that's been interesting about those is I've been seeing those pop-up signs, yard signs everywhere, on every corner. One interesting thing is, I think that that's a good marketing technique is, if you're busy or if you're just starting out, like getting a whole bunch of yard signs and just going crazy with those things, and you might think that, some jurisdictions don't allow yard signs and, what if they get taken down and things like that. Well, that kind of leads to another point that, yard signs will get taken down. They will get cut up. I've seen a lot of these holiday signs cut into thirds. I don't know, it's a thing right now. I don't know if homeless people are doing it or crazy kids or whatnot, but these yard signs are getting cut into thirds. And it's just, you might think it's kind of a waste for, marketing efforts, is why put your yard signs out there if they're just going to get cut up or if they're going to get taken down by the city because the city doesn't allow them or things like that. I mean, it's a good question. But ultimately, really, that's the thing you got to think about when you're marketing. And that's one of the biggest differences about owning a business rather than working for yourself is when you work for yourself, you just show up to work and the work is there. You don't have to worry about getting the work. Well, when you're a small business owner, you're the one who has to think about getting all the work. Where's the work going to come from? Things like that. And with that comes expenses. And one of the biggest expenses, aside from payroll when you start growing, is marketing. How you get the leads in. And if you're going to choose the yard sign campaign, which I think is a great campaign, just start hitting the roads with yard signs and hitting doors with door hangers or brochures or things like that, you got to factor in some loss. The matter of fact is, yard signs are going to get taken down, they're going to get cut up, they're going to get wasted, but you got to think, what's that yard sign possibly worth? If it's out there on a street corner for one day, what could that be worth, right? What if someone sees that and they need $1,000, gate rebuilt or something like that? Like, who knows? This is all kind of the gamble that you have to take as a small business owner. So yeah, at the end of the day, marketing is an expense you have to figure into all of your expenses. You have to figure in how you're going to get jobs, how you're going to retain jobs, and that's going to take risk. The biggest thing about being a business owner is it's a risk between sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some, and the hope is that you win more than you lose. And marketing is just like that. You have to choose what you want to do, what avenue you want to do. Obviously, what I recommend is start up a Google business profile and then join a bunch of local Facebook community groups and just put your name out there like crazy. But the yard sign, the door-to-door, the brochure, the door hanger avenue is a completely great way to do it. I would do that in conjunction with getting a Google business profile, Facebook, all that stuff. But I think that you have to factor that in. You win some, you lose some. So you're going to have marketing dollars that don't go anywhere. You're going to have yard signs that get cut up on the first day. You're going to have yard signs that get stolen by some kids the first day or picked up by the city the first day. It's just how it is. But you have to think about, how much is that yard sign worth? How much is that Google business profile and each review that you get? How much is that worth, and how many clients can that potentially bring in? And that's ultimately what you need to think about when you're operating a business. If you focus on the expense instead of an investment, you might as well quit now. All right, we just opened up that downspout. That's good. That other one over there didn't open up at all, so it needs to be cleaned. Everything I do, once I'm done cleaning all the gutters, I'll come through with a garden hose, flush out all the downspouts. Hey, and by the way, I absolutely love having business conversations with people. That's something, if you don't know anything about me, I've grown my business to have, I think at this point where we have 6 employees, and I love chatting with people about their business, just hearing about their story, what they're looking to do. So if you guys want, set up a free call with me over at handymanjourney.com. Would absolutely love to chat. I love talking to people just starting out, thinking about starting, hating their job, whatever it is. Just reach out to me. I would absolutely love to chat. Oh, now we got all the water flowing. That's awesome. It's looking good. It's all flowing from down there. All right, doing a few other things while I'm here. So I don't know if you guys have been following us or not, but that's the RV. We've been using that RV for the last 3 weekends. John, the owner here, he let us borrow that RV for 3 weeks. Absolutely fantastic, so fun. We went camping for 3 weekends in a row and it was so fantastic. Well, I'm winterizing that, so getting that ready for the winter. Also, I did a little thing to his pool, cleaned a filter there. Getting this house ready basically for winter. Oh, and then another thing I need to do, I'll tell you guys before I forget, because I did forget, is I gotta cut a swath out of the top of that RV cover, about 3 inches in square, because it's degrading, and thing's not too old, so he reached out to the warranty company for that RV cover, and they said to send him a 3-inch swath. So I'm gonna cut a 3-inch square off the roof of it where it ripped, because when we put the thing on, it ripped like crazy. And then got some RV tape right here that I'm gonna tape that RV cover with to cover up the swath I just made. Here's all the water leaking out of the downspout we cleaned. So all that gunk came out of there. So now it's time to get the hose. Let's do it. Well, I should have put up the hose on the other side of the house so I could do it all when I'm up here, but you live and learn. One more trip down the ladder. All right, I gotta push pause on this video real quick. I got a meeting with the Handyman Champion people. If you haven't heard about Handyman Champion yet, listen to this ad. See if it's for you. I'll be back in a jiffy.
Let's see here. What did I do here? I did a light fixture. Let's see here. I replaced the flux capacitor in the laundry room. What did I charge for that last time? We'll go with was $150. That sounds good. Sounds good. What in the world are you doing here?
Well, Bob, I'm everywhere. What are you doing?
I'm writing up my estimate. What do you think I'm doing? Like this? I'm just writing up an estimate before I leave a client's house. Leave me alone. Just replace the flux capacitor, and I did some blinker fluid in the client's car. That's it. I'm just writing an estimate.
Okay, well, did you know Handyman Champion can do that?
No, I didn't know anything about Handyman Champion. What's that?
Well, you've been living under a rock, man. Handyman Champion can help you write your estimates.
Oh, it can help me write up my estimates? That's pretty cool.
Plus, there's more. In fact, Handyman Champion is your one-stop shop for creating estimates, invoices, work orders, getting things scheduled, and accepting payments while you are out at the job site. So you don't have to do any of this stuff, actually writing up estimates with a pen and paper. You can now do it virtually. If you haven't checked out Handyman Champion yet, go on over to handymanchampion.com and get your free 30-day trial today. And if you need anything at all, you can reach out to me and also go to handymanchampion.com. We actually have a phone number down at the very bottom of that website that you can call and talk to a real-life person and ask them any questions you want about the Handyman Champion app.
Wow, that's really cool. And what was that website again? You handymanchampion.com? I'm gonna check that out. That sounds like it will really help me out. It also helped me what I charged for a flux capacitor last time I did that. So thanks for that, Alan. You have a good day.
All right, so I'm up here on the RV. We're gonna go ahead and cut out part of this patch here. That disintegrated a little bit. We're gonna send that into the warranty company. We taped this when we did it last week, so probably cut a section out of here and then retape it up. All right, friends, we're all wrapped up here. I want to introduce you to my good friend, John. He's the one who owns this awesome house that we've been working on. I thought it'd be fun. He used to coach business owners and speak into their life. So I thought it'd be fun to hear some words of wisdom from John. So John, if you had to speak to a new handyman or a handyman business owner, what are some words of wisdom that you'd have for him?
I would say be diligent in your business, be on time in your approach and in your commitments, and most important, let your word be your bond and be a man of integrity. And even if it costs you money, when you say you're going to do something, for a particular price, do it. And if something goes wrong in the process, you eat it. And people will appreciate that. And I think it'll gain you business in the long run. And that's what you want, is the long run. Thanks.
There you go. Words of wisdom from Papa John.
There you go.
Thanks, John. Appreciate you, man.
You bet.